Howdy folks, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you today with Eccentric Theater. No, it's not Eccentric Theater. Well, maybe it always, never mind. Anyway, stop it. Okay, why, you're so unsure of yourself all the time. That's because that's the way life really is. Anybody who's sure of themselves is not paying attention to the uncertainty in their life. That's right. Never mind. Really, what time is it? It's time for Crazy Paul's Playhouse. That's right, Crazy Paul's Playhouse. Crazy Paul's, it's too bad he doesn't live. Crazy Paul, you should live closer. Why? Because we could do a TV show together, and pretty sure it would be a hit. Crazy Paul sent me, Manic Mark, some paintings from his Friday the 13th collection. He went and bought these 8x10, I believe it is, press boards from Hyatt's for $1.30. And this is the painting of Hitler meets the alien. But when I said that's Hitler, he goes, no, it's not. It's just a Hungarian who looks quite a bit like Hitler. That in itself cracked me up. Toes with blood. I think this is Catherine. I don't think that's blood. I think it's, but that's what he said it was. Crazy Paul's Playhouse, featuring Crazy Paul. Da, 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 da. They say it was Eccentric Theater. Now, you were all here because of, see, I made a mistake the other day of blending a painting in with records, and somebody who hadn't come and seen many videos came and watched that video and blamed me for not being able to digest their dinner. I'm sorry about that. It just was a painting. The little tiny squirrels were done in pencils. There's no reality to the little tiny blue squirrels. Stop blaming blue squirrels! Now, for the record people out there who've made it this far, this was an interesting study because in the area I live, there's a record store directly next to a thrift shop, a church thrift. And I go in there and I never find anything. One day I went in there and I think somebody just dumped something off. I found some, including 2 song poem albums. It just blew my mind away. So I found some good stuff. But generally it's picked over. Why? Because people go in there and they buy records and they take them next door to the record shop and they sell them. Okay, so that's why there are not many records. But today I went in there and there were boxes upon boxes upon boxes. Well, to me they looked like record store cast-offs. And they were. They were from the record store next door. So I think when I buy records, I'm buying records that the guy in the record store thinks he can't sell. Okay, except, you know, oh, I also found like 40 or 50 local gospel pressings there at one point. They were sort of mildewed, okay? See, today he mentioned that he had like turned down a truckload of records because they were sort of mildewy, right? Well, if it's all local gospel pressings for lounge records, you know, I'm willing to live with the mildewy cover. But I just think the whole thing's interesting. It's because what he doesn't think it has any value goes next door. And I'm hoping that he's not turning down stuff that anyway, it's just curious. Record stores take stores. Eccentric Theater. Take on the persona of their owner. So all these records, and it was $10 for a record at the thrift. So I got like all these records for like $3. No, make that $13 because I gave the guy $10 for some records I bought in his store. Okay. Vic Schoen, this was just in a nice cardboard cover, an extended play, EP for short. And I was going to back up and say, when you watch, I'm not a kind of a record guy sharing records. I know a lot more, way more than I did, okay? But now very often I still buy records only because I like the cover or like the song list on the album, and I'm just experimenting, okay? So this isn't like, yes, I recognized the Butcher Block cover with the thing pasted over it, I brought it home, I steamed it off, and I know how much, I don't know anything. I probably would even pass that up, frankly. I really would. So these are just things that I buy. Most of them aren't worth anything, which is why the record store guy threw them away. I picked them up. There was well, I was going to have a logical point there, and it just went directly into the theater of the Eccentric. Going on, no rhyme or reason, I haven't any idea what's on the bottom of this stack. But from the record store is another guy, the name I'm certainly not going to try to pronounce. I have 3 or 4 of his albums. It's an African drummer who blended his African influences with, cut all that out, blended his native traditional African drumming music with Western jazz influences. So his stuff's really a lot of fun to listen to. Also, for $1, I couldn't believe it, the record store guy sold me this Ventures album with this fab cover with the woman riding the Vespa. I picked this up. It's a Latin. I've crossed over Jordan. This is on Crusade. It's gospel. But Crusade, I don't know if you can call it signed, but they published records from acts that were unique. There's usually something unique about it. And I picked it up because it's a family group, and you never know what to expect. The Williams Family 4. Who is Marilyn May? It looks like Private Press, but it's not. It's on RCA. Marilyn May, 1968. This one looked good. Composed Records, obviously budget record, out of New Jersey, you know. They all came from New Jersey, the budget records. It's a covers group called The Symbols. Anyway, they cover a bunch of songs, but one of them is Goldfinger. I've got a copy of this record. I picked it up again. It's just one of those wonderful tops covers. Oh, not local. This is out of California, gospel record. You just never know. You just never know. Who's Dotsy? This is also on RCA, 1979. I don't know who Dotsy is, but she may come or go. Here's Moods for Candlelight. It's a unique cover where the woman's upside down, and then there's candles, and there's the guy who's going to jump on her pretty soon. Gonna have a hot time tonight. Those are some of the most amazing blue eyes. Joy, Joy, the Christian Couriers out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania. This one will probably end up in the stack to be thrown away. Thank You for the Dove. A Man with His Dove. Now, you've heard me talk about this fella, Dick Kestner, okay? Just Kestner on Brunswick Records. Well, Dick played with Lawrence Welk. And I hope this little sticky thing comes off there, that's better. He made a few of his own records on his own time, and then many more than I thought he did. I've got maybe 4 now. 2 or 3 of them are really fabulous, sort of exotica. They're exotica records. This one I'm hoping, it's an interesting cover with the television set. In fact, I may have that TV set right there. Anyway, I'm hoping that's going to be fabulous. Picked up one of his albums. His niece or granddaughter or something left a comment in my blog. Thanked me for remembering her relative. Dave Wilkerson. I have no idea who he is, but he's on. It's a religious album, but he does a sermon called The Monkey on the Mind for youth. So you can never tell. He's the author of 12 Angels from Hell. That sounds exciting. But The Monkey on the Mind for kids, that could be awesome. This is The Speed of Light, Ben Light at the piano. I think I had that before and I had to get rid of it because I didn't like it. It'll be out of here in no time. And also another Dick Kistner album, doing Latin favorites. Now, I have an album that he did of Latin music. It's Space Age album, and it's fantastic, but it has a different cover on it. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is here with this one, but I will find out. Jerry Wallace, the name rings a bell. It was a clean record. I just picked it up. Remember, it was $10. 10 records. It was 10 records for $1. Wichita Lineman, Let It Be. I picked this up because it's, by the time I get to Phoenix, Wichita Lineman and Let It Be, featuring Morty Lewis on a clarinet. Okay, you know that could be good. Peter Duncan, Discotheque Dance Party. Whenever all these dances are covered, you never know. And why would I find another copy of this inside 1 week, this Charlie Ventura jazz album, tops? I hope this copy's better than what I just recorded. Organ music, Gregory Girl. You've all seen this in the throwaway bin. But you never know. I like cheesy organ music. You all know that. This is an RCA, which has kind of surprised me. 1969. It's some kind of Latin restaurant. Apparently, look, there's a whole restaurant full of empty tables. A big photograph, and there are the boys. And it's probably not going to be any good, but there you go. And a Hawaiian album, another one. I bought it because I don't recognize the cover. I bet this is just another. Never mind. I have no idea. Did I even go into it? This is a little bit too late for my collecting process, my collectible, but it looks like it's private press. All My Best, Billy Larkin. I have no idea who he is. He looks like he's trying to do country tunes. It probably won't be any good. I've got one of these, but I just love that cover. So that was a clean copy of that. I picked up another one. People have been buying artwork. I've been sending them records. So I'm sending out copies of albums with artwork when people buy artwork. Songs of the South Sea. This is another, it's going to be a budget record. But the covers are always so nice, so I picked them up. And last but not least, no, this isn't last. Good, because this is probably going to be kind of dull. I have no idea. But I don't even know who she is, Helen O'Connor. It was just a clean record, a person I don't know. Again, for me, it's all just experimenting. Just looking for stuff I haven't heard before. Now, last but not least, the record store threw this away. Even though the cover, I know they threw it away because the cover was pretty much trashed. It's music from Thunderball on Somerset. Music from Thunderball on Somerset. Theater of the Eccentric. That sounded pretty forced.